if you're an OnlyFans creator and you feel plateaued and you're around that 3 to 10K a month range, and you're just not sure exactly why certain things are working on Instagram, or maybe you used to get tons of views and now you just don't get as many views as you used to, or maybe Instagram just hasn't even been working for you, and so now you're like trying other opportunities, you're trying Reddit, you're trying Snapchat or Twitter, you're trying all these different traffic sources because obviously you need more subscribers. And a lot of people miss out on getting really good at one thing and really breaking through because they try to focus on too many things at once instead of getting really good at one traffic source. And so this video is not going to be about what is the best traffic method or this platform versus that platform. This is going to be about Instagram short form content and how you can leverage it to literally pay you forever. First of all, how to actually do that so you can implement it on your videos, but also why you need to use it in the first place. And this is not like a quick hack to make your life easy. So if you're kind of just lazy and you don't want to put in the work and you're looking for just like a quick win, then this isn't for you, right? But if you're looking to actually build like a long-term asset and you want to like treat your OnlyFans like a business and have something sustainable that will keep you paid for years and years to come, then I'm going to show you exactly what you can focus on, and it's a lot easier than you think. You just need to have the right structure behind it. Because if you're just posting random, you're not taking data, and you're always looking for that next viral video, then you're never gonna build that consistency that's needed to get subscriber flow, right? Because we could talk about chatting, we can talk about different things to do to like increase subscriber spend, right? But at the end of the day, if you don't have enough traffic or consistent traffic flow, you cannot optimize your chatting in the first place, or it doesn't even really matter. Or even if you look at some of the biggest creators that make the most amount of money, they have one thing right, and that's traffic. Their chatting might not even necessarily be the best, but it doesn't matter because there's so much volume of subscribers that they've essentially beaten the game. And so I'm gonna show you how you can break through. Right now, first of all, why Instagram? Instagram is never gonna ban creators, right? So first of all, you're safe on Instagram. It's an asset that can be around for a long time. Now, second of all, it's a feedback loop, right? So everything you post, you get feedback on like why it did well or why it didn't do well, right? And so we took a creator on Instagram from 1,000 views like average per video to over 20 million in less than 30 days, which I'll also show screenshots. I don't have the phone on me, but I will show screenshots and proof of that so you know that it's true, right? And I'm gonna show you how we also do that, right? And so you can see here before we started in November, it was like under 30,000 views for the month. And then if we switch that to after we started, we see 19 million, almost up 1,000,000%. Now, it might not always happen for you this fast. Like, it might take longer. It could take 3 months. It could take 6 months. This is just a crazy example of how fast it can happen. If you take your OnlyFans seriously and like you want to make money over the long term, then I strongly suggest that you watch this video and like figure out how all the best creators are doing this, because it's 2026. Like, if you've been around since 2022 or 2023, you know the game is not the same. It's not just this magical, ooh, like post a few times and you make money. Like, now you actually need to structure. You actually need to understand content, and you need to have like a good traffic source. There's way more creators than there used to be. There's also more fans, right? But the creators are way higher. And so if you do not have a competitive advantage, like, you will definitely be left behind. And I'm sure a lot of you have like seen it in your revenue, right? And so before we get into anything, there's one thing that is extremely important. Three to 6 posts per day minimum, right? Because I'm gonna give you post types that work and different ways you can use it. But if you're not posting at least 3 to 6 posts per day, then you might not even be serious about this in the first place. Like, it might not even be something that like you should actually do, being realistic. Like, if you want to get to 50,000 a month, 100,000 a month plus, but you're not willing to post at least 3 to 6 times a day, like, it doesn't really add up, right? So you have to be willing to like trust the process and like keep going until you find the hits. And what posting this much is going to allow you to do is actually find the posts that outlier, because this entire system is off of gathering data. And the faster that you post content, the more data that you're going to get, right? And so 3 to 6 posts per day. Now, there's different verticals, which are essentially just post types, post formats that you can use and that are just like typically the best verticals that perform across all creators. And so I'll quickly go over what those are. One being skits. Skits, right? Skits always do well. Skits are one of those things where that could be the only type of post on your page. They're interactive, and so boom, skits are good, right? Now, my favorite one here, and this is one of the most viral verticals that we get across all creators, and that is Snapchat. Because Snapchat's a social hack, right? So what you do with Snapchat is you put the Snapchat caption. When somebody watches that, it feels like they're watching their friend's story. So you get that familiarity hack. On top of that, it also serves as a hook, right? Like if you were gonna put a caption, it could be a good hook or something to keep people engaged longer. However, when you do it with Snapchat, it serves as both. And so like, even a lot of times, like we'll have creators upload skits, right? And we'll like go put Snapchat captions on them because we'll look at it and we'll be like, yo, this would do like way better with a Snapchat caption. And so skits, Snapchat, these are key. Also, talking content with good hooks. Talking head content, I'm sure you guys have seen. Everyone's doing this talking content, and it just does really well. Candid style, right? Visual hook, boom, super solid. Omegle, these are great. If you're willing to just get on one of the Omegle sites and just talk to different people, then you can get really viral videos. Like there are some ridiculously viral videos, and a lot of times like the creator isn't even doing the talking. Like they're mostly farmed off of the other person's reaction, right? And so you just skip through, you record a bunch of content, and then you go through, and ideally you have an editor go in and find the best clips from there because it'll take a long time to edit. But if you're willing to do Omegle, it's one of the easiest ways, right? And then another thing that you can do are these sexual thirst trap edits. Which I'm sure you've seen Sophie Rain, Julia, like the Bob House style stuff of just cuts, right? Where they're posing and having cuts. And so these 5 verticals work across everyone. Do we work with other post types? Like, yes, but we almost always need to include one of these just because of how good they do. And so it's not about finding the perfect post. Like, don't obsess over every single post. What matters more is volume. Volume is gonna negate perfection, and it's gonna be, if you wanna beat the algorithm, you just need to post more, because what you're gonna do is you're gonna get feedback, right? And so what you do after you take these is you're gonna go and calculate your average views. You're gonna have your average views per page, right? Now you might have a post that's gotten 10x the average views. Well, what you should do is go identify why did that post do well and recreate it. For example, with this creator, she was averaging about 2,000 views, and she got one post that was a talking skit, and she got 20,000 views on it. And so what we immediately did was say, hey, Lee, like, let's recreate this, right? And the recreation actually did better and performed well again, because it's not random. Also, when you get these videos that outperform, what you can go do is post them on trials. Now, when she ended up going ultra viral, it was with a Snapchat vertical, because Snapchat's goated, guys. Snapchat is the best, right? But anyways, the original video got 2.2 million views, right? And so we took that video and we went and we posted it on trials, and a trial reel got 8.8 million. And some flop, right? Some do well. But anyways, that was really crazy. And of course, we're recreating that format, and it's gonna be like way better now. It's gonna be way easier to get views. And so you don't have to keep chasing like a new idea. It's not about finding that new idea. What it's about is putting out stuff, one, that works, and taking that stuff that works and reiterating it and recreating it, right? 80% of your content should be old stuff that already worked and outperformed. So if it went like super viral, like you need to recreate that, like milk it, right? And you might be scared like, oh, my followers have like seen this before, right? But I promise you, like, it does not matter. Like your followers, first of all, they're not gonna remember. Second of all, your content is shown to like 95% plus new people every time it's posted, right? And so it just doesn't matter. And you can even directly repost stuff, right? So we have like a tool where we'll take reels and we'll make them unique, and you can do this through CapCut, like with edits, right? You can zoom a little bit, change adjustments, change different things. So the video is seen as unique by the algorithm, and just directly repost it. And we use this on trials all the time. Like trials is a view farm. Like if you're not using trials, it's not as good as it used to be, but they're still like insane. You can post like 5 to 10 times a day, every single day on trials to be farming up views, right? And so after you posted all of these, and you've done this for like a week, 2 weeks of 6 times a day, ideally you found some reels that are like outperforming. Now you're gonna dial in your content strategy. And so we're gonna dial it in here. After you found your winning post types, we can go ahead and get rid of all this. 80% proven formats. This is key. 10% new ideas. So, 80% of your content should be formats that already outperformed, right? Why create something new? Let's say it got that 2 million views. Why would you now think I need to come up with a new idea, right? Instead of taking that format, taking what made that go viral and continuously recreate it until it doesn't work anymore. Like Ashton Hall is a great example, right? He still posts this running format to this day. Like he found it and he was like, yo, this works. And he still posts it because it keeps working. And he's built a massive, absolutely massive brand. And like every other creator that's huge, they do this. When they get a winning format, they continuously take it. And so like time and time again, I see creators, they get a winning post format and then they just like never post it again. It just does not make sense to me, right? And so 80% proven format, 10% new ideas, because you always do want to test new ideas because you might find something that performs better, right? You might find a video that you didn't think of that does better, but you don't want to rely on that because then you're gambling your views. And so most of your content is just stuff that is proven to do well. You'll continuously get views. And then 10% being new ideas, so you always have that potential to find something better. And now you may be thinking, Jackson, 10 plus 80 is 90, right? What is the other 10%? Well, the other 10% is taking videos that did slightly better and reiterating them, but not copying them exactly, changing the format slightly, trying to find what did well in that video. There's a reason it did better than my average, but it didn't go ultra viral. So let's vary this up a little bit and see what we can do. And so this is how you can approach IG with math, right? Instead of, and again, I'm not a writing person, I'm a math guy. And so instead of like gambling your views, you should have like a proven system that works. And it's not like, this isn't rocket science, right? This is like very simple because we know what's worked before works again. And so don't keep trying new stuff every single week. If you're doing that, you're never gonna make any progress. And maybe if your views are lower than they used to be, you could go look at your old videos, find the videos that did well from your old videos and start posting those, start finding those formats. Now, this is something that's very important that I haven't talked about till this part in the video, which is sort of wild. And I'll let y'all guess. Number one aspect of content, right? Number one aspect is hooks. %80 of your video is dependent on the hook. If the hook isn't good, it does not matter how good the rest of your video is. No one is going to watch it, right? They could be visual things like popping in the camera before you start talking, right? They could be audio, verbal hooks where you say something that's outrageous, it stops someone from scrolling. But every single piece of content that you make, you should not produce that piece of content unless you can go and identify, this is the hook, right? This is why people will watch. And moreover, when you're going to recreate your 80%, proven content, you need to identify the hooks of that content. More, because 80% of that format that made it do good well was the hook. And so you want to find the hook and prioritize that on all the content that you create. Now, I know I didn't make this video on like a Google Doc or make it like super clear to understand, but hopefully this makes sense. And if you want to learn more about it, you can send me a DM on IG and I will audit your IG for free. I'll just, I'll go in, I'll find some post formats that work for you. Maybe I'll suggest some things and maybe you can find your next viral video, but don't overcomplicate it, guys. OnlyFans in 2026 is completely different than it used to be. Now, it's more competitive, but that's a good thing because if you focus on standing out from the competition, focusing on one thing, you are gonna make so much more progress. Like, you will not believe, so many people are hectic. They have no plan. They're posting everywhere, right? Post on one platform, attack with volume, right? Find feedback, make iterations quickly adapt to what's doing well and get rid of what isn't. And that is how you can just simply be good forever. And like, you will never be hungry again. Like literally one reel can change the trajectory of your entire OnlyFans and Instagram, like one reel. So this is definitely something that is like worth it to approach. And yeah, you know, I used to try every single traffic source. I tried all this other stuff and we just like couldn't scale. It'd be plateaued. It was feeling stuck, right? But when we just dialed in, just focusing on Instagram, it made everything so much more simple and everyone made so much more money.